Hi guys, welcome back. And in this exercise in the textbook Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud Revealed, we are going to be working with the group selection tool. We're in chapter 9 and working with creating and designing graphs. Alright, so using the group selection tool, graphs are grouped objects consisting of many individual groups grouped together. Each set of colored columns represents an individual group within a larger group, and you'll see that on your on the exercise or on the illustration here. So we are going to, by using the group selection tool, select a portion of the graph. We clicked on the artboard to deselect the graph. See if I can get this over just a little bit. And then you're going to click on the group selection tool, which is, mine is not hidden, but it's possible that yours was hidden beneath the direct selection tool, and there's not a specific quick key combo to access this, so you just kind of have to go to the toolbox and select it. We're going to click the first black column above the January label and then click it again. Click first, that's the first black column, and then click it one more time. Well, actually, let's try that again. Click it once, that selects that first column. If you click it twice, that selects the two remaining black columns. Then if you click the first black column a third time, it will select the low temperature legend box. So here's the first, second, third. Now we can change the fill color of these selected columns to red altogether, as shown in figure 8, or you'll see it on mine in just a moment. Now we're going to select the first light gray column. We're going to click it one more time, and then we're going to click it a third time. And that way we get all three columns plus the key, or the legend box. And then we're going to change this fill color to yellow. Now we're going to select the gray columns and legend box. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to change this to green. And then this is the column graph with the new colors applied. Now the text labels, value axis labels are all individual groups as well within a larger graph group. Click twice to select them and then change their font size or color as desired. So you can do that with the line work as well. And that works with the, oh sorry you guys, I'm putting fills in there. We want strokes. Okay, let's go this way. We're going to get rid of the fill. We're going to bring up the stroke color, bring up the swatches panel, and I'm changing that to blue. All right, close this out. And just briefly, if to create a group, and some of you may know this by now, but I'm going to draw a few different objects. So I'm going to select the first two and do a Command G or Control G, that groups those first two. And so I can click on that first group with the black selection tool and it will select both of them or the entire group. However, if I want to select just one of the group, as we were just doing with that graph, I could get the group selection tool, select one is selected, and then click a second time, and two are selected. Then if I want to add to that group, so I click once to select one, twice to select two, three times to select three, four times to select all four, or I can get the black selection tool and click once and it selects all four in the group. And that's how the groups are made. Alright, let's see what we've got going on next. Now in this lesson we're going to modify the graph using the graph type dialog box. So we are going to choose the graph type dialog box. This provides a variety of ways to change the look of the graph. For example, you can add a drop shadow behind the column in a graph or change the appearance of the tick marks. As a design tip, choosing a chart type, you want to keep in mind these guidelines. A pie or column graphs are typically used to show quantitative data as a percentage of the whole. Line or bar charts are typically used to compare trends or changes over time. Area charts emphasize volume and are used to show a total quantity rather than to emphasize a portion of the data. And then scatter or radial charts are used to show a correlation among variables. And that is an important design tip, particularly as a graphic designer. One of the big things that we can be doing in the future is making a lot of data more manageable, more readable, more understandable. And this is a very good tool to do that with. Alright, so using the graph type dialog box, we're going to get the selection tool. And then we're going to click the graph. First, let me get rid of this drawing that I did up here so we don't confuse the issue. Okay, select the graph. The entire graph must be selected to make the changes in the graph type dialog box. So we're going to go to the object on the menu bar, and we are going to point to graph and type. Now this graph dialog box comes up and you'll see that this provides the graph options. These are the various graph types. And then this is how you would add a drop shadow. So we're going to click on the graph options list arrow. And we're going to choose value axis. All of the options in this window now refer specifically to the value axis, which is the vertical line located on the left of the columns of the graph. It's this one right here. All right, we're going to click the length list arrow in the tick marks, and we're going to click full width. I wish this had a preview so we could see it, but this one doesn't have that preview checkbox, unfortunately. And then we're going to click OK. And you can see how that changed the length of the graph lines. Now we didn't add a drop shadow to ours, but we can very easily. We can select the graph, go up to Object, down to Graph, and over to Type. And we can add a drop shadow. And there you go. All right, so we are going to Command or Control S, and I will save this one out and upload it and then be back, I think probably one more time to catch something a little bit later in the chapter for you. See you in a bit.